Hey guys, Yishan with the Yuga Club at UCI here, coming at you guys with a new format, Master Rule 5 deck profile for ZOODIACs. This is the hot stuff right now. Drident just got unbanned at the price of one barrage, but fair trade because you can always access Drident. If you just get one zoo, barrage, you had to draw it still. So I think that's a very good trade for ZOODIACs. Also Master Rule 5 coming back. In this video, I just want to show you my thoughts on how to build a deck. This is a pure zoo deck. No time thieves or anything like that. I just think it's a little more consistent. And some basic combos I'd like to show you guys. So without further ado, we'll start it off here. We play 3 Thoroughblade. Just the best one to open if you open another ZOODIAC, because you could just pitch it to you can pitch another ZOODIAC, draw a free card, and then you have a ZOODIAC engraved to do your whole combo and stuff. So that's pretty awesome. We've got 3 Whiptail. You just need it to get over stuff. Very useful. 3 Ram. The other very good one, it's the floater. So you know, if you want to dump something, usually you dump Ram. So a lot of the combos revolve around Ram. And then I run 1 Rat Pierre because it's a limited and it's very good. It's a combo starter. You know, if you open this, you dump Ram, and then you end with a Drident Ram, which is a very good, you know, nice board to help you go into the future, you know, turns 2 and beyond. And then I chose to run 1 Bunny Blast. A lot of people are running Foolish Burial, and I was originally running it too. The great thing about Foolish is if you open it, you can send like a Ram, and then you can, you know, you can always end on Ram Drident if you open another zoo. However, what I don't like about it is, okay, here's my quip with it. Okay, so if you, let's pretend this is Foolish, right? So the only time Bunny Blast is good is if you open Whiptail or another Ram, right? Because, or the only time Foolish is good if you open Whiptail or another Ram. If you open any of the tankies or Rat or Thoroughblade, you'd rather this be Bunny Blast, right? So it's about a 50-50 because you've got 4, you've actually got 7, and there's only 6 other zoos. You have like 3 tanky, 1 Rat, 3 Thoroughblades, so that's 7 zoos, and there's only, you know, 6 Whiptails and Rams combined. So more than 50% of the time, if you open another zoo, you'd rather this be, you'd rather have a Bunny Blast because it's a zoo in your hand. And the chance that you brick, you'd rather it be Bunny Blast. Later in the game, you'd also rather the card be Bunny Blast. And so there's only a few times where Foolish is better, and not even more often than when Bunny Blast is better. So that's my reasoning behind running Bunny Blast. Another floater, Catarist has the best material effect because it can negate targeting monster effects, but Bunny Blast is a floater, so I like Bunny Blast. We've got 3 Ash, just standard in this deck. You need to be able to go second, right, if you lose the dice roll. 3 Nibiru, very strong in this deck. I think you guys all know about the Infinitrack Xyz right now. Infinitrack takes 3 Xyz monsters. It's unaffected by monster effects, so if you end on that here, I'll show you guys where it is real quick. If you end on the Megaclops, this is unaffected by all monster effects except for Xyz monsters. That includes your own Nibiru. So you can Nibiru and keep your Megaclops on the field, which is pretty awesome. So that's it for the monsters. Spells, of course, you run 3 Far Formation Tanky, the best one because it just gets you Rat, 1 card starter. You end on Drident Rat, Drident Ram, and you're good to go basically for the rest of the game. Of course, the 1 Barrage because we still have it. Let me clean this up a little bit. We're getting a little bit funky over here. And then I run 3 Desires, and then so the great thing about Desires in this deck is that you know, it's the plus 1. The bad thing is that this deck does like to grind, and so Desires could hurt you because you don't really have a good way to use a dead Desires. You don't like run Twin or anything like that. So I just set it for Spell and Trap Bait, but you know, it's definitely worth it, as lots of top decks have shown us. And then I run 3 Avarice. A lot of people are running 2 of this. I am building my deck in a way where if I want to be able to resolve this all the time. The hardest time to resolve Avarice is on the first turn, right? If you open only 1 zoo, you can't resolve it unless you open Rat. Then you can, and I'll show you that combo. I like to Avarice and end on Drident on the first turn. I'll show you guys how to do that. I built my extra deck though. I want to always be able to Avarice if I top deck it. So even if I don't open Avarice, I want to be able to stack all the zoos on the first time I do it, because I want to be able to Avarice if I ever get it, because it's just draw 2. It's so powerful. And so, you know, I want to build my deck around, you know, thinking about Avarice. On that night, I also run one combo. It's not the most powerful trap, definitely unexpected. You could run more of it if you want. I just like to have the option to dump it off Rat. And so that's why I run one. And then for other traps, I run 3 impermanents. Just the best hand trap. Well, it's not that strong, but like it can't be called by the grave, so it could stop a lot of things. Triple Judgment. Yeah, it's just good. 3 strike. And then I was originally running 3 warning. This card's, you know, decent going second. Judgment just stops everything. I was originally running warning, but I was paying a lot of life points, and also Compulse is just a better top deck. It's better at going second, and it's still a great card right now in this format with the Shadol and Salamangreats running around. So I really like Compulse right now. It's just sort of like better than warning. So that's my thought on the card. And it's better going second, which, you know, you need cards to help you go second sometimes in this deck. Onto the extra deck. So of course we run the one Drident. That's, you know, basically obvious at this point. You know, it's just, you always want to end on it. I will show you guys the combo soon with it. Everyone knows, you know, if it's in your graveyard, it's fine. You just chalk and it back, which we run 3 of, and then you attach a material with Tiger Mortar. So this is all pretty standard zoo stuff. There's a lot of combos. Again, we'll get into that. This is a pretty standard ratio. You might see people run 2 Tiger Mortar. I run 2 Borbo, 2 Hammer Kong. This is weird, but like I said, I want to be able to Avarice when I get the chance. You really only need 1 of each, but I like to just waste them on, even if I don't have Avarice, I just throw these guys on there. Why? Because when I draw the Avarice, I want to be ready for it, right? I don't want to have to put extra zoos in the grave. I want to be able to Avarice, no problem at all, right? Right now I'm trying out one Daigusto Emerald. It's really hard to actually make a rank 4 in this deck, so this might not be the best, but it just recently got limited, so I want to try it. Shout out Bailey. I got 2 Mega Clubs he's letting me borrow. This card's like $17 for some reason. Really good. You might not need to run 2 of it, but he had 2. And sometimes you go into 2 of it, because once you make the first one, it's easy to make the second one, but you usually are already winning at that point, so maybe you only need to run 1. You could replace, maybe if you want to be more reasonable, replace a Emerald with like a Phoenix, replace one of these with the Earth Charmer, but there's not really many good Earth decks right now, so I'm not a big fan of Earth Charmer. And then you have to run the 1 Gravity Controller because it helps you a lot with your combos. I don't see this utilized a lot, but I'll show you guys how to utilize it. Okay, so let's start with the basic combo. This is the combo I call, you just open, you know, Rat or Thoroughblade, right? Thoroughblade Ram. You know, you can do this with any sort of thing, but I prefer, you know, something like this. Right, so if you open Thoroughblade Ram, you just Thoroughblade discard the Ram, draw a card. So you just want to have the Ram in your grave and a zoo on field. We'll do Rat because it's easier, right? So first, basic combo. If I'm going first and I haven't drawn Avarice and I just have this and a bunch of traps or hand traps, I normal Rat and I send Ram to the grave. We'll just have this be the grave over here, right? And I'm sure you guys can figure it out. You guys are smart. Okay, so then first thing, we just go Chaganai, detach, summon back the Ram. So now our Rat's in grave, and this is on our field, right? And then we can just go, what I like to do is I like to stack everything on this guy. So I just go Tiger Mortar, Borbo, Hammer Kong, and then I like to have my Drident. And the reason I do this is because, again, I'm ready for that, that Avarice if and when it comes, because we run so many of it, right? Okay, so that's the first basic combo. I prefer to end on Ram. If you just draw 1 zoo, you just throw it all and end on Drident. Now, let's say you draw a Rat or some sort of Thoroughblade action and a Pot of Avarice. It doesn't matter what zoo you end on here, you can always summon back a zoo. Well, you do need Ram. I lied. So you need Ram. So let's say you go Rat and Pot of Avarice, or some sort of Thoroughblade thing Pot of Avarice combo, right? Here's what I like to do. I go Rat, send Ram. Okay. And then of course we go, this combo is always the same, right? We go Chakanine, and we can special back. Now here's where we have to decide here. I prefer to special back the, well, actually you don't want to do this. You want to go a useless one like Borbo, and then you want to go Chakanine here. So you go Chakanine, and you special back the Ram. Oh yeah, fuck, I messed this up again. I think you actually don't want this. You just detach. Okay, sorry, I'm really bad at this. You detach something here. Okay. Then it doesn't really matter what order to do this, I guess. Then you go Borbo, or then you go Drident. See, actually it doesn't matter what order to do this. Then you go Drident. Sorry, this combo was ugly. You pop this Ram. Ram in fact to summon something back. You summon back this. Right. And then you can use the Tiger Mortar to put the Ram back on here, because the Ram is the one we don't want to shuffle back. Everything else we're okay with shuffling back. And then you can stack your Borbo Hammer Kong and your last one. So you Borbo Hammer Kong, put this in the extra monster zone. Don't forget, take all this off for a gravity controller. And then in comes your Pot of Avarice, shuffle all those back, draw 2. So that's one of my favorite going first combos, because it lets you resolve your Avarice on the first turn, and be left with a Drident pop and a Ram ready to go. Okay, last combo I want to show you guys. Lots of people are talking about this. You can make the Infinite Track with just one rat, or Thoroughblade Ram. Again, same thing. So rat, effect dump Ram. Okay, I'm not gonna mess it up this time. Swear to God, guys. Haha, swear to God. Okay, so then you want to go. Chakanine, I think here. Not that it really matters. You can go Chakanine effect to pop this Ram. Chakanine effect to summon back Ram. This is not Drident. My bad. You go Drident. Drident effect, detach Chakanine to pop the Ram. Ram can summon back Chakanine right here. And then you can go Tiger Mortar on top of the Drident effect, attach something to this Chakanine. Now remember, because this Chakanine was summoned off Ram and its effect is not a hard once per turn, boom, we can detach and summon this Drident back. And now we've got 3 Exceed monsters, and we can go into the Infinite Track. If you prefer, if you have something like like an Average hand, you can just link all these on here, link them all into Infinite Track and make a club. So as you can see, this deck easily makes this card. This card is awesome. And then, if you have something to target, for example, you can summon back the Drident and attach whatever you stole from your opponent here. So you just ended with a Mega Clops and a Drident, and then you can attack for 2,000 because its damage is halved. And you're ready with it for the next turn, as well as you can have a ball these zoos in your grave. And all you need is a zoo and a Ram in your grave, and you can do this from any point, right? So those are the basic combos. I want to thank you guys for watching. Master Rule 5, Quarantine. Hope you guys are staying safe. Thanks, Bailey, for providing us with all the cards needed in this video. And until next time, guys, I will see you later.